Okay, now I'm contacting the Attorney General again because I've tried contacting them before, complaining about this sheriff. I tried several phone calls prior to this, and official complaints about this sheriff who is illegal in our town, who's doing illegal things in our town. And before I moved here, there was a whole list. I have a whole list of sworn statements of different crimes that have happened in this county. And I had no idea that this was going on prior to moving here. Okay, so I didn't purposely walk into this situation, of course. I just had a friend who was selling this house in an auction type thing, from the family trust, and I got a really good deal on this house. So I certainly didn't purposely walk into this situation here. I had no idea this kind of thing was going on in this county, and over here in South Dakota and North Dakota there were such problems. So I'm just realizing that these people in these positions here, sheriffs and it's the sheriff and the state attorney's office is right in this county too, and the state attorney would be the one that would prosecute, along with that would be part of the prosecution, and both of them refuse to prosecute anything, and so there's been if there's people if they're friends with these guys, and they they've allowed like 9 felonies that I've heard of or more to happen in this county here in McPherson County. So I'm attempting to call the Attorney General again, and try to see what's going on with trying to get something done with this sheriff being recalled. We're trying to get him recalled, so because there's been so many complaints. But the way that the laws are written in North and South Dakota, it's really hard to get a sheriff removed or recalled for some reason. I haven't had a chance to look at what the laws say exactly, but that's what I'm hearing from people, is that it's really hard to get a sheriff removed. So that's part of the problem. So I'm going to call the Attorney General's office here, and I've called them before, and they did nothing to help me. So now here it is, March 18th, and I'm going to call them again.
Attorney General's office?
Yeah, I have tried calling in before, and I had left complaints about a sheriff, and nothing has been done. And so I'm calling again, because we have a sheriff that has been involved in filing false charges and harassment and all these different things, and we are trying to get him recalled.
Okay. And do you know who you spoke with?
I spoke with a gentleman when I called in before, and he said that he was going to write down my information and get back to me, and he never got back to me.
Okay. And what was your name?
Debbie Davis.
All right. I'm going to put you on hold for just a moment.
I called in twice prior to this. I called in twice, and I told him that I'm a whistleblower and stuff like that, and I already have had tons of harassment prior to moving to South Dakota, and I don't need more of this local ridiculous harassment. And that they should be, if they allow this harassment, it's a violation of federal whistleblower laws. And I said, well, is the Attorney General okay with that? Because that's federal. If you keep allowing the sheriff to act like this, they're federal complaints here, and nobody ever got back to me.
Okay, one moment, please.
This is ridiculous that I should have to go through this, and I find it ridiculous that there's not more help for whistleblowers. I feel sorry for any whistleblower. Mine is an extremely serious situation that I've had to live with. It's so much worse than you can possibly imagine. I've only told part of my story, but these people need to be arrested, and the problem is there's so much against President Trump right now that coming after him, that it's hard for him to be able to do his job when there's so much coming after him as well. But it's such a serious situation here with corruption in our country. And what I'm finding is that if the attorney general of the states are not doing their job, then of course, there's going to be a lot of corruption because he's the top, he's the top law enforcement officer of the state. And if he's allowing businesses and sheriffs and everybody to be corrupt and he's not doing anything about it, then of course you're going to have a corrupt state. So if you have a state that's corrupt, normally the problem is probably the attorney general. And that's what, we're finding here. So we'll see what happens here. If I get any help, this would be my third time calling them and filing complaints with them. I'm filing an official complaint online. This would be like my second time I've done this now, after talking to them twice already. The Attorney General of South Dakota is Jason Ravensburg, and prior to him it was Marty Jackley. And I know that my neighbors here, prior to me getting here, have tried contacting him on at least 7 or more occasions of all the different crimes that were allowed to happen in McPherson County. And I know that Marty Jackley did nothing to help them. So this is what I've already been told, but now there's a new Attorney General. So we'll see what happens here. He's been, this particular sheriff has been a sheriff for 11 years. His name is Dave Ackerman. He's been, I don't know who the names were of the sheriffs prior to him, but he's been here for 11 years. And I know he's been involved in a lot of this with the prior state attorney, who was Don Collenberger. So I know that it's been both of them that has allowed all these things to happen. People are afraid to even live in their own homes, and they're half the time they're afraid to say anything about it, because then if you speak up about it, they try to make your life even more hell. So this is kind of what we've been living in these certain areas that have gotten so corrupted. So Okay, so they don't seem to be answering. I'm on hold still. So, I don't know.
Debbie, I'm going
Yeah.
to have to take your phone number
Uh-huh.
and have somebody from DCI give you a call back.
Why does DC have to be involved in the Attorney General's job?
DCI is part of the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
And a phone number for you?
651-767-2892.
Okay. And for what county is this sheriff that you're calling in regards to?
McPherson County. His name is Dave Ackerman. Yeah, I've already tried to call twice. I've already called once, and I told him, I said, look, I don't need more harassment. I've already been through a lot. I was an accidental whistleblower in the military, and I already told him, I said, this is violations of. Then I called again, and I talked to another guy, and he wrote down my information and said he was going to get back to me, and he still didn't get back to me. So are you going to give it my information, and then is nobody going to get back to me again? Because this would be the third time.
And how long ago was it that you called?
Maybe just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It's been nonstop. We've tried to call. I mean.
And you don't remember the name of the person that you spoke with?
No, it was whoever answered the phone like you did. But it was a guy.
And you were never sent to speak to anybody else?
No. He said he took down my information, and he said somebody was going to get back to me, and they never did. He said he was going to send it on to somebody, and nobody ever contacted me.
Okay. All right. Well, I will definitely get your phone number sent on, and somebody will be getting a hold of you. Okay, Debbie?
Okay, I'm recording this whole thing.
Okay.
We're not. I mean, this is not okay that the Attorney General is not enforcing the laws here, and it's not okay that a sheriff is not doing his job. He's been here for 11 years, and I have a whole stack of crimes that have happened in this county that he's allowed to happen. And not only does he not do his job, that he's the one that everybody's afraid of. We don't call the sheriff. We run from the sheriff. He's not the one we call. He's the one that we stay away from. Okay, everybody's afraid of him. They just don't know how to get him recalled because of the way that the laws are written in South Dakota.
Okay. All right, Debbie. Well, I will have someone give you a call back. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Okay, we'll see if they actually do their job. It's March 18th, 2019, and supposedly I'm going to get a call back. This will be the third time that I've called the Attorney General Jason Ravenberg's office. Okay, so it's March 19th, 2019. So if there's, I'm going to be, seeing if they call me back.